My dad fell from the roof while working in his warehouse. His employee was within sight and called the ambulance right away. He was admitted to the ICU. He cracked his skull, broke his collarbone, broke a bone in his rib, and it punctured his lung. Doctors advised they will need to address the head trauma first. The following morning, they scanned his head again and saw that it was bleeding in the inner part of the brain and said he needed surgery ASAP. Surgery went well, but they told us that brains are like computers, and once it crashes, they don't know what part of him will come back, and that many people with this type of head trauma cannot walk or remember their names. We prepared for the worst and let God do his work. A couple of days later, my dad woke up from the surgery. He was definitely not himself and could not speak or move very well at first. Each day, however, his improvements were drastic. He was moved to the regular room within several days. When he was moved to the regular room, the doctors scanned his body again so that his other body parts could be treated. To our surprise, as well as theirs, none of the bonies that were previously broken were broken. The doctors all said that this was a miracle. They said whoever we prayed to listened. And yes, Jesus heard our prayers and provided beyond our expectations. My dad walked out of the hospital on his own 2 feet within about 10 days after being admitted to the hospital. His mind and his body are as good as before the accident, minus the huge scar he has on his head from the surgery. He walked out without a single prescription drug. On top of all of this particular hospital had a program I can't recall the name, and we owed less than $500 for the entire treatment and hospital stay. It was an emotional and I would say the hardest part of my life so far. Looking back, God gave me so much confidence in him and I was able to experience his love in the deepest way imaginable. Oh, and the cool thing was, I read my dad his favourite book of the Bible, John. He said that was one of the very few things he remembered from the experience.